Distinguished by the greater glory. Are you desperate, or even hope for the raw, authentic power of God? The Father longs for a generation to arise who live only to see His kingdom come on the earth as it is in heaven. The Father longs for you to arise and hear His invitation to come into the glory today, yet not just any glory, His greater glory. In this teaching, you will learn about the greater glory, which is available to you, and keys to unlock it in your life. There have been many authentic moves of God throughout history. One that comes to mind is the Cane Ridge Revival of 1800. The power of God moved so mightily among some Presbyterian ministers during a sacramental meeting that services were extended for weeks. Many people from all denominations flooded the area so much that at times there were over 25,000 people attending the meeting. Thousands of people came to Jesus, and hundreds laid slain in the Spirit. It was said that so many people laid on the ground before the Lord all at once that it looked like men slain on a battlefield. It was also said that at times when thousands were in unity in worship, all would break out into loud cries, shouts, and praises to the Lord, and could literally be heard for miles around. That's what I call authorized fire. In Leviticus chapter 9, verse 23 through chapter 10, verse 1, we read some dynamic verses and can learn multiple principles about the fire of God. In fact, we can read where the authentic, authorized fire of God comes from and where it doesn't. Let's take a look. Verse 23. Moses and Aaron then went into the tent of meeting. When they came out, they blessed the people, and the glory of the Lord appeared to all the people. Fire came out from the presence of the Lord and consumed the burnt offering and the fat portions on the altar. And when all the people saw it, they shouted for joy and fell face down. Aaron's sons, Nadab and Abihu, took their censers, put fire in them, and added incense, and they offered unauthorized fire before the Lord. In this story, there are two types of fire. The first, which came from the presence of the Lord, it consumed the burnt offerings and fat portions on the altar. Also, it caused unspeakable joy and praise among the people in such a great way that they all fell face down. This was a good service or session. If it were in modern times, it would have been an exhilarating worship service where the presence of God would have to be so thick and heavy that the preacher could only say a few words, then lay down on the platform while people worship the Lord through their praises, shouts, dancing, tears, and laying face down. I love it when this happens. This is the fire that only comes out of one place. Fire came out from the presence of the Lord. The second was a fire that was put in censers by Aaron's sons, Nadab and Abihu. But notice it did not come from the presence of the Lord. Rather, it was a man-made, self-produced fire. It could have looked, smelled, moved, and made the same noises as the fire they just witnessed that came out of the presence and glory of the Lord, yet it wasn't. What they offered was an unauthorized fire, and they were terminated because of this act. I can only imagine what they were thinking, but maybe they saw their father Aaron being used as an instrument with Moses to release a blessing on the people. From this, the glory of the Lord appeared in such a strong way that the fire of God was evoked on the earth, and many people shouted for joy, and they thought to themselves, "There are two of them, and there is two of us. We need this power. Let's get some fire." You see, there is reserved revival fire in heaven that God wants to pour out on the earth and on His people to cause such an awe and ultimate kingdom culture in every sphere of society like the fire that Moses and Aaron were part of. It is authorized fire, and this is the only fire and glory that is going to change your life situation and cause such a miraculous release to everyone around you. This is the fire and glory that transformed millions and changed me into a raw, radical lover of Jesus and Son of God. This is the fire of God that comes out of His presence and glory, and it is only reserved for those that will say, I want the authentic, raw power of God. I want the greater glory. But the only place this unique holy fire comes from is the presence of His glory. Moses and Aaron literally just came out of the secret place, the tent of meeting. They were personally experiencing the presence of Yahweh, and it was from this realm they blessed the people. We can only wholeheartedly bless or minister to people by first being in the tent of meeting, the secret place. It is out of this realm the blessing is extended for Moses and Aaron, and this same goes for us. Moses and Aaron blessed them, and from the blessing came the glory of God. Blessing, honor, love, and unity is a key of the release of a private secret place glory into a public quarter amongst people, where it becomes a corporate glory. These are some great keys to an outpouring and the glory of God, but I want to focus this point on that there is an authentic fire that comes from the presence. This fire is a part of the greater glory reserved for those who will say, Lord, show us your glory, and Lord, distinguish us by your presence, who will not settle for unauthorized fire like Aaron's sons, Nadab and Abihu. I believe God is raising up an end-time, vast, mighty army to carry this greater glory into the entire earth. You are called to a greater fire, greater presence, and greater glory. I believe this and find it interesting that Moses asked the Lord to go with him and to distinguish his people from all other people on the earth by his presence. If your presence does not go with us, do not send us up from here. How will anyone know that you are pleased with me and with your people unless you go with us? What else will distinguish me and your people from all the other people on the face of the earth? Exodus 33, verses 15 and 16.